as he goes down the straightaway in this draft. Now the speed just accelerates. It gets faster and faster. And that's why you can slingshot, because you get, as Ray talked about at the very top of the show, that momentum and just drive you by that truck in front.
Did you notice just momentarily he hit that brake pedal?
It's a lot easier to just touch that brake than let off the gas to slow that truck down. Jeff's staying up high going in the corner. He's not following the truck in front of him. Don't know what's going on there.
Whoa! Oh, look out! We got trouble. This is going to hurt.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Yep.
Keep your fingers crossed.
And it was so good for so long, and it turned into so bad so quickly.
We'll be back to see what happened. And as I said, keep your fingers crossed, folks. We're at Daytona. We're back at Daytona International Speedway. We are under a red flag situation, and that truck that is upside down, we believe it to be the number 15 of Geoffrey Bodine. And this was a very serious crash.
And the race, as you see by the graphic, has in fact been red flagged, because there's just too much attention has to be paid to these drivers involved, Geoffrey Bodine, and all the debris on the racetrack. There's just no way to bring those cars down. So
we also have some damage to the fencing area. In fact, it's right in this part of the tri-oval coming into view now, right there at the bottom of your screen. So this is going to be an extended red flag, and we are keeping our fingers crossed for all the drivers. The trucks have been stopped back before. There you see them lined up right before they would come into pit in. Drivers are staying in the trucks right now.
That's Lonnie Rush's vehicle, the Hastings Fielder truck, being towed back to the garage area.
Daytona International Speedway, we believe about 9 trucks were involved on the tri-oval incident that has brought out this red flag. The most serious involves Geoffrey Bodine. The truck literally came apart. The motor is about, I'd say 250 feet from where the truck ended up on the infield grass, actually, towards turn number 1. We can tell you the 31 is being towed back to the pit area. That's John Young. Lyndon Amick's 52 Penda Truck Accessories truck is also on the hook. The 46 Axiom Ford is also involved in this, and on the back of a flatbed being pulled out. And you can see the safety crews from high above working to take care of Geoff and get him out of the truck. We believe that they have gotten him out. We have no report yet on his injuries, and we will certainly not speculate or say anything.
You're right, Marty. The truck just completely disintegrated when it made contact with that outside wall. Very reminiscent of Richard Petty's crash here, 1988, as he came off turn 4, made some contact, got up in the fence, and was so violently crashing down the front straightaway.
Now, this is just a few seconds ago. There, look at Geoff. He's moving his arms. That is the best news we could give you. He's moving that bag, and so Geoffrey is alert, at least, and conscious and able to move. I don't know about you guys, but I'm breathing a little bit better right now.
Well, me too. That was a horrific looking wreck, but what a testament to the safety of these vehicles. Unbelievable, isn't it, Benny?
I'm telling you, folks, this is just about as bad a crash in a stock car as you'll ever see in your life. The truck just disintegrated, pieces going every place, but the roll cage stayed intact. Where the driver sits stayed intact and bounced across the racetrack.
Now, we want to show you just how much it came apart. That is the motor, and there is the place where it ended up, and then this is about 250 to 300 feet back to where what's left of the truck. Now, there was contact with the catch fence, and that is the damage that is there. We do not know if there are any injuries to any spectators in the stands.
But obviously, this fence will have to be repaired before NASCAR will allow these trucks to continue this race.
Meanwhile, all the other competitors, and you see another angle of the work being done on the catch fence in the tri-oval. The other competitors are stopped far from pit lane. No work allowed during a red flag. Confirm that. That is what is left of Jeffrey Bodine's Line-X Ford. And Ray, I have never seen a truck come apart that much, but look at the integrity of the cockpit area.
Well, that's one thing. NASCAR sends you rules. You have to build your NASCAR car or truck by those rules. And it's about 250 feet of round steel tubing that cage is made out of. And that's what you start with, the middle of that car. That's the most important part. With NASCAR racing, driver safety is first. And
the thickness of the metal also has to be a certain thickness. You just can't use thin wall tubing. It has to be a certain thickness, and the integrity has to be able to calm this race down for the last half of the race. We won't see the 3 wide and what have you until the last few laps. And again, when the checkered flag goes in the air, those drivers once again will be thinking of victory. They'll be smelling victory, and they'll be 3 wide. But at least for the next 40-50 laps, this race will calm down a little bit.
But until the crash, I mean, the first 57 laps of this thing, it was spectacular. These guys were running really well.
And just 3 trucks wide in the tri-oval, a spot that it's very, very difficult to get through 2 wide, because that's one of the loosest points of the racetrack is a tri-oval. 3 wide, some contact. And
is it because they forget that it's only 18 degrees of banking instead of 31?
No, it is. No, they don't forget that. But the why it's so loose, it is only 18 degrees of banking rather than the 31.
Bodine's truck on the back of the hook. We already, if you were with us during
flip over.
Well, you had made that point earlier. We had several spins where even in the crash involving Renfro, where he got tagged on the infield grass section right coming out of turn 4, and that one was able to stay on the ground as well.
These trucks have seemed very stable all day. They've done a very good job regulating aerodynamics.
Dave, you've got more from pit lane? Back on this, and to think that 5 minor injuries to the spectators and this huge crash involving Jeffrey Bodine, where he rolls the truck at least 11 times, goes end over end at least 3 more times, and he is alert and conscious, has some injuries, but far, far better than we ever anticipated. Now, with the knowledge that the spectators' injuries are minor and the work continues, we will go back and we'll show you what happened first from the blimp. Benny?
Okay, there we see on about the 6 car back, Lyndon Amick on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Kurt Busch in the middle. Busch and the 46 of Rob Morgan make contact. Morgan goes up and hits Jeffrey Bodine. He gets in the fence, and there Jeffrey goes down the racetrack, and that's the 27 of Lonnie Rush there that comes along and hits Jeffrey Bodine. I do believe that was Lonnie Rush. No, maybe not. That might have been the 90 car of Lance Norrick that came along and hit Jeffrey Bodine.
This is real time.
Yeah, that definitely was a 90 car of Lance Norrick that ran into Jeffrey Bodine.
Starting with the blimp.
And there about the 6th place, we see Lyndon Amick in the green truck. He goes down. Kurt Busch makes contact with a 46, and along comes Jeffrey Bodine and climbs that outside retaining wall, and down the racetrack he goes. Now here comes the 90. Another replay. Watch this and listen. Let's check Jeffrey Bodine's onboard camera, the Line-X onboard, and listen. And away it goes. One more angle.
But then, as you can see, when that truck goes up in the catch fence, that's what starts it tumbling. And watch as the motor will go across across the racetrack. There goes the motor tumbling down along the racetrack.
Well, look how high Jeffrey Bodine is. And right here along comes the 90. No, they stop him there. And there is just absolutely nothing. And watch as they take Jeffrey out, and he tries to take the mask off as they're taken to the ambulance.
And that was the first indication that he was conscious. And as we said, he is alert and conscious, has several fractures.
We see Lyndon Amick on the bottom of the racetrack. Kurt Busch has to go up the racetrack just a little bit, and about that time the 46 starts to turn to go through the trouble and just turns in to the 99 of Busch. And when he turns him around, here comes Jeffrey Bodine with no place to go.
That sends Geoff's truck into the catch fence. It starts it tumbling over. It goes over and over and over. Right here, we think Lonnie Rush hits it, gets it tumbling the other way, actually tears the motor and everything out of it. The truck continues to tumble on down into the tri-oval.
And there the engine goes bounding down in the infield grass.
Let's go down.
Bam, in the outside retaining wall, and watch as he tumbles down the straightaway. Now, again, right, another truck is going to come along and hit him. Here, watch and listen. From Jeffrey Bodine's onboard, listen. One more angle. Lyndon Amick, the green car, goes down. He and Kurt Busch go up, and they touch the 46 of Rob Morgan, and in the outside retaining wall goes Jeffrey Bodine.
The truck comes totally apart. You'll see the motor flying off there on the left upper portion of your screen. It ended up about 300 feet further down the track. One more view. Look how high he got.
I've been around this sport since 1960, and I've never seen a crash
when he got out, you could see him. He was moving, and that was the best sign that we could see at the time.